to yet another episode of Expressed Opinions with your girl, Lynn Roberts. I am Lynn Roberts.
I'm that girl, DC.
And I'm your boy, T-Roy.
Big C.
Big C!
How's everybody doing? Everybody good?
Good. How you good?
Man, don't ask. My back killing me, but that's a whole nother story.
She didn't man right.
We're going to take on a lot of jokes.
Okay. Let's see, before we even get started, they get started. Okay. Okay. So today we got a different subject we're going to be talking about, and I think it's one that's we can touch a lot of different levels on. So today we talking about when is enough enough?
I've had enough!
Damn! But no, seriously though. But you know, there comes a time in everyone's life when you're like, I've had it, you know. And my mom used to have a saying when she said, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you're gonna do something about it.
Right.
So that question comes to, when is enough enough? When have you had it with bad relationships, being stuck in the job that you don't like, you know, being tired of being broke? What are you gonna do about it? You know, you got tired of saying I need to lose weight and not doing anything about it,
Right.
or I need to eat healthy and not doing anything about it. So when is enough enough?
When is enough enough?
Well,
you know.
Well, you know, that brings back a conversation that I had with a friend of mine.
Okay.
You know, he's deceased now.
Uh-huh.
And we was riding to Atlanta, and he told me that a lot of people don't start living until they have a death sentence.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So in saying that, you know, it's like, you know, health-wise, he was talking about health-wise. When do you say, okay, hey, before I get here, let me do something about it?
Exactly.
So, when is enough enough?
When is enough enough?
Well, I'll start off, and I'm going to go to parenting.
Mm-hmm.
When is enough when you're a parent and you have kids who's out of control, and by them being out of control, it's like, when is enough when you got to put your foot down on these kids? And I'm not talking about the elementary kids. I'm talking about middle school and high school.
No, it starts in
It-
elementary.
It does start in elementary, but
No. Actually, it starts before then.
it starts before then, right?
Yes,
And
it
you know,
does.
because these new age parents, they let their kids get away with a lot. And you like, you know, when as they get older, you be like, okay, enough is enough now. You know.
But by then, it's too late.
Well, it's never too late.
Well, out North Reservation.
It's never too late. You know what I mean? Because going into being a parent, you know, I have, you know, my kids, you know, they're grown now, but I've had them, and it's like with them at the beginning age, I was the parent of, okay, I'm getting the phone calls.
The disciplinarian.
And then my kids, when I walk in the door, they thinking they're in trouble, and I'm like, you know what? Enough of that. Enough is enough of them calling me instead of them handling it then and waiting for me to get there to handle it as a father.
Now, are you talking about someone that's keeping your kid? Or you talking about school wise?
Well, you know, me and their mother, we never was in the same house. So it was like when my kids get in trouble in school, no matter which one they are,
She was always,
she would
look,
call
you need
me.
to call and
You
talk
need
to
to
us.
come in. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, I go over there on the weekend, you know, to go and pick them up for the weekend or whatever, and it's like, oh, shoot, am I in trouble? But why you say it like that? They scared me. So now I got this, you know, enough. When is enough enough? Okay, enough is enough of that. I'm not about to go running over there because they done got in trouble in school. When I get the phone call now, hey, handle it. I'm tired of being the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So do you say you telling the school handle it, or would you prefer that she go and handle it?
Yeah,
Because
she
the school
go and
handle
handle
it. Okay.
Yeah.
They must have going in there. I ain't talking about the school.
Okay.
I'll never send my kids away. I ain't gonna let them beat my kids. I've been there.
And they
I've been
did.
there. You know, but it turned out good because when we were growing up, the down the street neighbor could have beat our behind.
Yes, Lord.
Well, no, I got one better. They had corporal punishment.
In
Your
school.
mom, they would send a letter home for your parents
Yeah,
to sign.
yeah.
You would get paddled in school.
Yeah.
Ask me because my brother got paddled plenty of times.
I think I only got paddled one time in school.
Man.
And
Oh,
only
it was
reason,
bad.
and then, what you mean that was bad?
I never got paddled in school.
And look, the reason why I got paddled that time is because of the other people in the classroom, and you know how that one group, the whole class
It was
get
a
it.
group thing, yeah.
And that's the only time I ever got paddled in school.
Well,
Cause I was mad too, cause I'm like, why I gotta get a whooping for? I already do get that at home.
Yeah.
You know why I gotta get it at
So
school?
you gotta get it here first. And when you get to the
Exactly.
house, you gonna get it. And then when Pop come home, you gonna get it. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
we
have
get
that
all the way around.
or uncles involved.
And aunties and uncles come over to visit or get a plate from mama and say, oh, you were acting up, come here. Talk about. Be like,
But
man,
see,
I
that's-
got it 4 times.
That's when you had the village.
That's when you had a village.
That's when you had the
Right,
village raising
right,
the child.
right.
Because they knew at any given time, if you mess up at any given time, any one of those,
Anyone can come get you.
any one of those gonna tear that ass up. And I mean tear that ass up.
I
So,
think-
yeah, go ahead.
With that being said, I think it made us more conscious
Yes.
of what we did. We had to become wiser and doing things we wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now these kids are just blunt. They just
Yeah.
don't care.
They don't care.
They don't
Don't
care.
care.
They don't care. So,
So-
I mean, so, you know, with that topic, you know, when is enough, that's what I have.
And I'm gonna tell you when was enough for me, when I was a substitute teacher.
Oh, that's at the job.
Oh man. And I had middle school kids.
Oh,
I
flip
was,
mouth.
ooh Lord.
Flip mouth.
Ooh, look, let me tell you, it was one little boy. He came out the mouth one day. I grabbed that boy so quick, I forgot I was at school. I had to check because I was like, Lord, this ain't my child. This is not my child. Let me just count to 10 and get my hands off from around this boy's neck. And I'm telling you, I had grabbed him. I was like this behind. I had grabbed him and I was squeezing right here. I was like, boy. And I was like, you know
You didn't
what?
take the badge off first or nothing?
Girl, I told you. I forgot where I was. And I was like, I had to stop. I was like, ooh, Lord, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me count to 10. Because I had to look around and the kid, I was like, ooh, okay. At that point, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm good.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because see, I don't want to be on the news talking about, a Chatham County school teacher,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with what he just brought up about when there's enough when it comes to kids, the government also has a big hand in your
now,
household.
yes, they do now.
Because kids now know that you can't touch them.
Mm-hmm. What
Don't
you
come to
gonna
my
do?
house if kids can't be touched.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, we got whipping, spankings, or whatever.
When we went to the other people's
Right.
house.
So, at what point do you say, okay, the government need to step back and say, hey, you need to handle your kids?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when is enough? When is enough? What is the line for the government stepping into your household?
Oh, they don't belong there at all.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Well,
the whole idea of the parenting should be a dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
The way I did it with a dynamic, it's not dad's the bad guy, mom's the bad guy. Sometimes dad's the one to save you. Because you might have did something stupid. You walk in the house, look at mom's face, look at his son and go, boy, get in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And
And we take him in the car, we about to go for a drive for ice cream. What happened? Oh, I did this, that, and next. Mom, okay. So how do you think we're going to fix it? So you both got to play this dynamic back and forth on when you step in, when you step out. And that way the child learns there's no in road around or between those parents. Because if it's just one, they're going to learn to play
Yeah.
one against the other.
Mm-hmm. I've
no
had
air,
that
right.
attempted.
Put
I've had that attempted.
No air inside that relationship to keep it tight. But with the idea of government, if your child, as you were saying before, the discipline starts here. I start popping their legs real quick, real young, and guess what? You got to deal with it when they're older. Because now you instill that discipline. But all the time, it doesn't have to be corporal. It's how you talk to them, how you get through certain things. I would get in trouble most times in 10 because I would go to meetings, I would listen to my child what they have to say. Go to the meeting, and I'm the one laughing, and his mom hits me like, what? What'd I do? She's like, you're not supposed to, I'm sorry, but the kid was wrong. I agree with him. I'm going to speak his point for him because being that he's a child, he can't espouse that sentiment to an adult properly.
I've done that
So I'm going to be your advocate.
I've done that too.
Right? Yeah. Or I'm going to be the same guy sitting in the room going, really? That's not what we do. You know, and try to balance that out a bit. But I feel if you handle those things in-house the correct way, like our parents did, government was still there back when we were kids. There were institutions like DIFAS and all kinds of other child protective services. DFAC. They were around.
Yep, they were.
But it wasn't as involved, seemed like now. It seemed like back then, my mom would speak us and give us a telephone.
Yeah, that was it. Go ahead, call me. Call me. What am I calling?
But see,
I'm sorry. But she give you that phone, the first thing you think of is,
I'm calling grandma.
I'm not good. I don't want to. I don't want to come get me. Because you don't know where they're going to take
Where
you.
you going?
No. As a child, you automatically think they're going to take the parent. That's just
I know
automatic
that,
thought. But they really removed the child in the parent state.
I didn't think like that.
But you know what? There was an instance like that I saw it on social media where the boy called the cops on his parents because evidently the mama had whooped his behind for something he did.
Right.
He called the police. The police came in and they were asking questions. They asked him, he was like, okay, what happened? I mean, somebody was filming it. And he was like, well, she hit me and she did this and she did that. And he was like, okay, well, what did you do? And so he told him, he was like, oh, so you deserved it.
Right.
And he was like, huh? Oh, so you deserved it. Oh, so he was like, boy, get your behind back in the house before I whoop you myself. And so I guess that was his lesson right there of, don't be calling me, don't be calling the police on your parents, especially when you were in the wrong.
Right.
Well, I don't agree. Now, there's a line between discipline and abuse.
Yes, there is.
But now you can literally hit a child in public
and
they will call yes. They can call the police. The police come, they show the tape, that's an assault. Listen, I deal with them now or you deal with them later.
That's what I tell you. It'd be my problem or yours. You want to deal with it now or you going to have to deal with it in the prison? Like,
Exactly.
Let me raise, but then you want to be quick to kill our young black males and women out there.
But I will say this. You got some parents who discipline their kids, and when the kids get older, they still get in trouble.
True.
That's called respect. My mom would call me right now and say, "You want punishment? I'm putting this down and I'm going home."
I'm not ready to. You know what I mean? Like, my mom can call me right now and be like, I need you here whatever time. And if I'm not there,
please,
man, listen.
Well,
I'm scared to go over there afterwards.
My oldest son is like that too. But like it was like a week or so ago because I was like, look, I just got this desk. I need you to come put it together. And he was like, okay.
I'm breaking
and
traffic laws.
His best friend, who I called my other son, was like, okay, Mom, when we need to be over.
Right.
So it's like,
it's that respect and love that you
Right.
get, because it's not always blood family.
Right.
Because I had guys that grew up in my neighborhood. If you came to my house, all your brothers? No. But he called her mom. Okay.
They do that now.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
What?
When is enough of parents being friends with their kids?
Oh my God.
Give me that man.
Oh, let me.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold
That
on.
has
right
to
there.
be. I couldn't say you can't never be friends with your child. Your child has to know when
There's
you're
a
being a
line.
friend. Because you don't want your child. You want your child to come talk to you.
Yeah.
See, my kids were scared to talk to me
Because you was
because I was more of a parent than their friend.
Right.
They'll go talk to their mama. They'll go talk to my mother or their other grandmother. But coming to me, and I've never been that parent. You know what I mean? I was always that. I wasn't strict. I just wasn't that parent to be, you know.
You was no nonsense. When it came to
Right,
certain
you know what I'm
things.
saying?
Yeah.
But now, you know, that like I say, they're older.
Yeah.
They're coming to talk to me now.
Exactly, and I think that's it. As your children get older and become adults, then I think that friendship parent thing it starts coming. But when they're like young, coming up, they're still in school, in high school. No, baby, I ain't your friend. I'm your mama, and I'm gonna have ass up. Still, no.
Well, you have parents twerking with kids.
And
You have. Come on now.
all in the club with them, going on double dates with them and stuff. Man, it's a no. Yeah. No. Have you? It's a show. Wait a minute. It's a show. I don't know if you've all ever seen it. It was a show that was on. I think it was TLC. It was called Smothered.
I did see that.
And it was about
I think Lisa Ray was on there one time.
No.
That's when it was
That's when Lisa Ray when they were doing her. She had her own show. She was on that. This is a totally different show called Smothered, and it's like everyday people.
Oh,
This is everyday people where they have these relationships with the daughters have these relationships with their mothers, and it's like real overboard, and you're like. And I'm sitting up there, I'm looking like, and I'm like, I have a daughter, and I'm like, ain't no way in the hell I'm doing that.
No.
Me and my daughter not doing that.
I mean, me and my daughter have daddy-daughter date night. I
And-
take her out, or she'll take me out like that, going out tonight, and we'll go hang out and meet. It's just me and her time.
So
she has my full attention.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
same
but
thing
that's
with my son.
different. That's
It's son-
different.
It's dad's Sunday night. Me and my son, he has my full attention.
But see, that's different. The daughter can't go do anything without the mother. The mother's not going to do anything without the daughter. They even went and had this one mother and daughter on there. They had a photo session together, and they were like half naked.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
And the photographer was like, this is a first
No family?
for me, doing and so I'm serious. Y'all need to check that show out. It is crazy. And it's another one called Mama's Boy or something like that, where the son is like pretty much a mom's boy. They can't do anything without the moms and stuff.
Did he say one time that somebody's mama was teaching him how to kiss?
Oh, I remember that. That was Anthony Anderson and his mom.
What?
But it wasn't the way they took it out of context. Basically, with that, they
I want to Google.
yeah,
Right.
they took it out of context.
How do you teach your child how to?
Yeah, they took that out of context though. But they cleared it up, but they really did take it out of context
Okay,
and stuff
good,
as
good.
what he was saying. So, but when you're talking about when is enough, you got mama's boys. When is enough
Yeah.
enough?
Well,
You're gonna see what it's gonna translate to, right? It's gonna translate to relationships.
Yeah, it's going
Because he's
on.
not gonna want a girlfriend or a wife.
He want one mama. Exactly.
She might tell
I'm not a mama's boy. I'm more of an auntie's boy.
really.
Yes. My mom's sister, I'm an auntie's boy because at her house, she had 4 boys. I've been the only child. I always wanted to be over there. My mom used to try to harbor me and be like, no, don't go over there, because she didn't want me to have their habits.
Well, it don't matter. It's still a woman.
It's still a woman.
So we're talking about the
dynamics of that relationship.
Okay, so I mean,
of being a mama's boy.
I didn't grow up with a daddy, so I couldn't say I was a daddy's boy. You know, I was never a mama boy.
I think
I always
But see, there's different.
What's that actor's name? Black actor. Denzel. Great point he made, and I keep seeing over and over everywhere. The mom's first love is her son.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa.
Well, what if she don't have a son?
Exactly.
Well,
Daddy.
well, see, mine is my little girl. I don't know about
Well, I can say my daddy.
She looks like her dad.
I was my daddy's deceased, so I was through and through, thick and thick, daddy's girl. So I got it on the flip side. So I don't have a daughter, but I know what it is like to be a daddy's girl. And when I say like, I have my daddy never hit me.
Right.
He never raised his voice at me. So
You have to.
Right.
I mean, he could talk to me, and if I felt like it was a crack or something happened, I would boo cry. That's all they had to do.
But that's my daughter. She was
So just a small tag of veering off the road real quick. So if your daddy, being that you is a daddy girl, you walk up on your daddy talking to this woman, are you gonna tell your mama?
Hell no.
But if your mom was there talking to a guy, you gonna tell your daddy?
I did it.
Hey.
But
Oh
that's
my
the thing
God.
about it. When you at daddy's girl, they are so protective. They don't allow things like that to happen.
Oh my God.
And probably later on in life, I would say, well, you know what? Dad did this, but it would be like years later. Then it was all about protecting him. So,
Because you did the same thing.
She was 25 at the time. We walking through, and this lady starts flirting, and Dad go, "Oh no, that's not happening." I was like, "Oh my God!"
But you know what? My youngest son is like that. I used to take him to get haircuts. You know, you in the barbershop, right? And we're sitting in there, you know, we waiting our turn, patiently waiting our turn and stuff. When he get in the chair and stuff, and if somebody, if like a guy in there spoke to me and all, and he'll be like, "Okay, why are you looking at my mama like that?"
Yeah.
And, what you got? What, mom, why are you looking at you like that? Who is he? Why is he talking to you? You know him? And I'm like, boy, if you don't sit there in that chair and get your hair cut and stop worrying about what I got going on over here.
If I start talking to a female, my son go, not even my son, "Hey, your wife needs, bruh." Not my, you mean your mama?
look, your son
Your
said,
wife.
no.
Exactly.
I'm like, he's too funny.
Okay, and speaking of that, since we said this is going into relationships, so when you're in a relationship and it's not so good, and you know, because you have people that stay in relationships for years and years and years. They are some are abused, some are mistreated. Some people, the relationship just isn't working out, and you just think.
And you just grow out.
Yeah. So when is enough to say, look, we need to just go our separate ways?
I have a question. Can we just dial that one back a little bit and let's move through it? So in the beginning, when you're interested in pursuing someone, when is enough as far as the pursuit goes? Before it gets to the relationship.
Valid point.
So if I'm interested in you, or vice versa, and the interest is semi-equal, but I might be more invested, when is enough for me to allow you to get to that place where I am and say, okay, you know what, this is the person?
Or say, you know what, I'm done because I don't see this going anywhere.
Match my energy.
Exactly.
If you're not there with the same gust that I have for
In
you,
that moment, you don't allow that person to get there.
you either there or you're not. You're there or you're not.
Yeah, you right.
That
right.
attraction comes. Both of you are going to be on point, or it's not going to be there.
Exactly. You high five. That's what I'm saying. Either we
we
here
there or we ain't doing
we
it.
here or we not. Hey.
Well, you know what?
Right.
It's always time, and what I mean by that is if I walk in the building and a woman sees me attractive, she's attracted to me. I don't know her to be attracted to her. She may know of me. She just might have just saw me and be attracted to me. Like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? That's a handsome young man.
Okay.
Really?
That's right. That's right.
What you doing going?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, you know.
Touch your
Oh,
Riley. No.
You know, that's just like the fellas. When they see something they like, when the fellas see something they like, they're like, ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And for women, most guys, they're not looking at
But
what you are.
Troy, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is after you've had numerous conversations with that individual, y'all gone out on a few dates and everything, and you're trying to see where this is going, and it's like either you're in the same place that they are, or you're not. Either you're ready to move forward to see what we can do, what's going to happen, or either you're not. So that's am I right? That's what he's saying.
We're in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
We're not doing it.
Are we on the same
energy.
page in the same book? You know.
So what is that time frame?
It's like lukewarm.
What is that time frame? Or is it a time? Like, what is
It's not a
that
time
time
frame.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing perpetuates itself. It gets
Yeah.
its own momentum for it. Because
Exactly.
if we both have the same energy, we're both moving forward. There's no time frame in these arbitrary things come up with. Date number 2, we can kiss. Date number 3, we can have sex. Yeah, let things happen the way the energy wants it to happen.
And what if it's at a slow pace?
Then
And you're both moving at that pace.
well, y'all just act like a turtle and just keep moving.
Y'all turtling this thing down the road.
Exactly.
You know?
If that's the
Because
case,
here's the
that
problem. If one moving faster than the other, y'all energy ain't there.
exactly,
Somebody can walk off.
and you're gonna allow room for somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah, right.
If you gonna allow room for somebody, that's just like being on 16, trying to get on 16 first. Okay, you put enough space in there for
Yeah,
one man to snuck in. All right, I'm gonna let you. Bye bye.
Yeah. What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
because of that statement, what you just said.
That requires a few goes.
And see that statement what you made was you was like either your person may be moving too fast and you don't want to move that fast, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, you just gonna walk away.
Yes.
You push them away.
No, you didn't.
What I see
If
what
I
he's
walk
saying.
away from a woman trying to come at me too fast, you don't push me away. Because I'm not ready when you're ready.
Exactly.
Exactly.
She needs someone with that
Exactly, so
speed.
she needs to move on.
That's what you said.
That's what we just said.
But the other thing you said was, okay, when is enough is enough? And I said time.
No, what time?
Exactly.
I'm going to
If
spend
you
more
move on,
of
then
my
bye-bye.
time
I'm good.
trying to spin my wheels with you, and you're just not at my pace, whether it's slow or fast.
But because you're attracted to me, I'm not attracted to you.
Oh, there's plenty of people to be attracted to.
Exactly.
Like again,
Next.
like I say,
There's
you attracted
always
to me.
somebody else.
I'm trying to
There's somebody else to be attracted to.
and I'm like, hey,
Full
you
palm.
moving too fast. You can keep it going.
Right.
You said
Yeah, but
16,
the
I do
thing
it
about
better.
it is-
Get on 95 because it's faster.
No, but see the thing about it is,
We ain't finna do that. 'Cause I'm not.
How you say get on 16?
I'm not gonna be forced to do something.
nobody is.
that I don't wanna do.
No, that's
See,
what we're saying.
I understand.
No, you're
talking
not.
about something else.
No, we're not saying you're being
You're saying the exact
forced.
same thing.
We're saying the exact same thing. It's just that you're okay. Say
Y'all on 16 and he on 95.
You're on 95.
No, I'm on 16.
you on
They on
16,
95.
we on 95.
Oh, okay.
They on
But the
95.
thing about it is though.
Slow motion, like-
Yeah. But it's like you said, it's matching the energy. Your energy is not matched with that individual's energy. And it's all about the place that you are in your life. If you're not in a place in your life where you're ready to make that next step or that commitment or whatever it may be, then you're just not there. It's not a right thing, it's not a wrong thing, it's just that's just where you are in your life.
Okay. All right. That's it. So now we're talking about we talk about okay, meet, date. Now we're moving into the relationship.
Mhm.
Now we're going into where you were previously talking
Yes. Like when is
about.
enough?
When is enough? You're in your relationship or you moved on to marriage. Marriages.
Up and down.
When do you get off?
Yeah. When do you get off?
When do you get off?
If you're in a lifeless marriage.
I like the expression of his face.
You know.
So you go first to address that.
There's a part of me that says, especially when the kids are involved, I'm going to protect my family at all costs. Whatever it takes for me to sit through, live through, go through, I'm going to fight tooth and nail until the other party pushes me completely out. Because my family is more important than all my other wants and needs. And
Okay,
keep
but
it
what
together.
what about the kids? If the kids like, because I've always, being that I'm a product of a divorced family,
Sure.
I would prefer, because when you're in a household, when you got two people that can't stand each other, and they're only staying there because of the kids, you're showing your kids what marriage looks like for them. So when they get up, they grow older and want to get into a relationship, they're like, this is how I grew up. This is what I saw. My dad was over here. My mom was over there. I never saw that connection with them. So why would you want to bring your kids up with that? And I personally, you all know I've been married twice. So my thing was, I'm not going to sit here and show my kids a loveless marriage. You know, I would rather them see somebody happy than to see them in a marriage miserable and unhappy. So at that point, enough was enough for me. And I had to let them see, look, you can't let nobody take away your happiness. Because at the end of the day, what matters is if you're happy. Because if you're happy, that's going to flow over to your children. And also, if you're sad or upset all the time, that's going to flow over to your kids also. So would you rather them see you sad and upset all the time? Or would you rather them see you happy and you know, happy-go-lucky and living life?
And engaging.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you're not happy, you're not engaged.
And let me tell you something. This is how I knew that I did the right thing. Because after me and my husband separated, and we had moved out into the county. We had moved to Pula. Me and my daughter was in the car. We were riding along, and I think I was singing a song. We were just singing or whatever. And she looked at me and she was like, Mama, it is so good to see you laugh and smile again.
Wow.
And at that point, I was like, because I was questioning, should I have done this? But after she said that, I was like, okay.
And there was an element you threw in there. It's like when it gets to that point that it's beginning to leach in to everyone and causing that rift. But if there's a way, I would say try everything you can before you abandon ship.
True.
You know?
True.
So that includes you being married, your kids seeing you in the same room, and then you're no longer in the same room, or you're no longer in the same bed.
Right. But
And how do you explain that to your kids?
Exactly.
unless
You
they
can't
ask,
sugarcoat nothing. That's one
unless they ask.
You gotta tell them.
But at the same time, I think you two should be again trying everything possible
But
to
people,
understand what the shift is
but people,
that caused this to move.
what people fail to realize that children are very
Intuitive.
and perceptive.
Yep.
And you sit up here and you think you hide this stuff from them,
True.
and you're not.
Soaking it all in.
Yes.
Because I know when I was younger, and I spent my a portion of my summers in Carolina. It went down in Chucktown.
Oh, sucky.
And there were things that I saw that once I got older, and those memories don't leave. So what people really need to understand is that when your child is small, you're going through things, they don't understand, but those memories do not leave. So when they get older and life starts to happen with them, they look back now at those situations And it was like, oh, so this is what this was about. And then start asking questions. Hence, I'm a product of that. So I was like, you know, things was going to I didn't know. But when I got older and I started, you know, asking questions, I was like,
So this was what's going on.
yes. Because I had something to compare it to when I was older and my mind was at a place where I could process it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, okay. And then I also have brothers, but I have also extended brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them, how they maneuvered,
Mm-hmm.
their extended brothers, and how they maneuvered. So I think for me, it affected me. It still affects me because now I like things that happen. I don't say much, but it's not because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just paying attention.
Exactly.
And a lot of people think it's because, oh, well, you know, I'm doing this because, no, I'm doing it because I'm letting you do it. When enough is enough, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to let you have it because I know where you are.
Right.
You're just not saying it. I was waiting you to get there, but if you're not there, okay, all right.
But
Speed on to get beat on.
enough thing is when and how does your wake up call come?
Yeah.
And I'm circling back to what Dion was talking about when she said she had that friend who got to that point where you're giving your expiration date. I was given mine a few years back. Doctor said you ain't gonna make it very long.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, that's your wake up call. They'll take it. Other people, no. It's gonna be balls to the wall, I'm gonna do whatever, and I'm gonna go out screaming. Where others start to take stock of their life, who's in it.
Yeah.
These people want me here, need me here, I have to be here. So I have to make some lifestyle changes. You gotta make some lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
You gotta make some real inroads on what are you doing, why are you doing it, how are you doing it. So for each person, it's their individual wake-up call has to come that specifically speaks to them.
Yeah.
Because for you, on the outside looking in, you're going, well, why the heck you ain't leave yet? Why did you do this yet? Why did you do that yet? Wake-up call didn't come yet.
Some don't get a wake up call.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like especially with abuse. And people think abuse is always physical. It can be mental that
monetary.
affects your mental
And
you,
verbal, yeah.
Right. You will literally commit suicide
Mm-hmm.
or you're killed
Right.
from the as a result of from the abuse. So when you're in your relationship and let's say that abuse is not a part but the relationship isn't functioning anymore. When is enough for you?
Right. You gotta make that call.
It's not abusive, it's just that because listen, everybody on the panel knows that I'm the only one. I'm the anomaly here because I haven't been married. So, and this is a question because I ask questions because I want to know. But for you all that have been married and either your relationships or marriage did not work, at what point did that light click on and you said, okay, you know what? Something has to happen because this is no longer working. When did you start noticing, okay, this is going the opposite direction and I can't do this anymore?
Well, if you want my answer, I can only speak for my previous marriage with my ex-wife. I've only been divorced once. I'm married now, so it was enough with her was when it got disrespectful.
That's
When it got disrespectful to where you can say anything out your mouth, and you saying it in front of 5 boys. I am a man first. You are a woman. You degraded me, you disrespect me, and there was nothing that came out of your mouth that was appropriate. That day was the day I left, and I did not turn back.
all right, Lynn.
Well, hold on.
You never. What? I mean, I so when you gay married situation. I just want to know. Listen, you're not the only ones that have these conversations with. I have different people who've been married, who are currently married. Some are still going through things in their marriage. Like, I want to know.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So,
Ready?
I'm ready.
I ain't
We
ready.
need to go
I'ma
see if
jump
it's
off.
making
I ain't even ready.
I ain't ready.
Okay.
All right. So, as you know, I've been married twice. I've been divorced twice. Okay. Marriage number one. As you all know, I got married very young in my very first marriage. I was only 20 years old. Just turned 20 when I got married the first time. Okay. We were married for about 5 years. He was in the military. We were in Columbus, Georgia. We left Columbus, Georgia, went to Texas. Okay, so before we went to Texas, I got a letter in the mail talking about a paternity test
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
for a child that I don't have with.
You know you did.
I'm like, no, because I know my baby daddy, yeah. So that was one. Then next I find out, you got a child that was like born damn near the same year as our child. Okay. Yeah, player. And mind you, we're in Texas. I didn't know anyone in Texas. I had my 2 kids. They were both under 5 years old. I was in the process of trying to go to school. At first, he didn't even want me to go to school. And then, when I got all of this other information back, and then that's when they had Desert Storm. He had left to go to Desert Storm. I found out all of this stuff you got going on. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I had not a job. I knew every bit of maybe 5 people in Killeen, Texas. He had to go away to school. He had to go to PLDC, A not B not, one of them knocks. He was. So when he left to go to one of them knocks, I politely gathered. I had sent my kids home. I sent my kids here. My kids came here. I politely bagged up 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 plates, everything. I was being nice. I split everything up equally. I'm serious. And I left. And I moved out. And he could not find me for 3 months. Because he didn't know where the hell I was. We didn't have social media back then, cell phones, none of that other kind of stuff, so he couldn't find me. Yeah, see, no. So that was my enough point with him, right? Yes. The second time, it was a combination of things. I'm a person that I'm always forward progress. I don't like, us being standing still, stagnant. We have to progress. We have to grow. In order to get from point A to point B all the way down the alphabet, you have to grow. And you have to be willing to grow. And if you're not willing to do that, then I can't help you. What is the point? I don't want to stay in a standard situation where none of us is going progressively forward. We got to constantly worry about bills being paid and all of that other kind of stuff. So, and then on top of that, I find out that you got your other groove thing going on over here. When I'm giving you everything and anything I got. I'm like Anita Baker. I was giving you the best that I got.
Well, you know what? That's a difference.
But I'm just saying. But that was my point. At that point, it was, okay, I'm done. We've had the conversations of what needs to happen, what needs to change, but nothing is changing. So at that point, enough. I've had it. I'm done. So it's like, we talk, I forgave you, you do good for a couple of weeks, and then you back to the same old thing. And then with the abuse thing, there was touches on that, but so I was like, and my thing was, my mama didn't raise no punching back. So this ain't it, player, because I punch back. So therefore, we gonna have to end this. in this right, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's what I did. I left.
Well, I think she hit on it, but didn't use the exact same words. It's meeting needs. Everybody has, when they came into a relationship, that person was filling certain needs you had, whether it be mental, physical, emotional. And when you start starving that need, the other person started looking elsewhere to fulfill it. So your enough point is when you get into that starvation mode, when they pull that thing away from you that you need it and you can't get it anymore. When you've gotten to the point where you're totally depleted of it, then you start trying to figure out which way out. How do I get to someplace where I can find this again?
Yeah.
You know, it can be one or multiplicity of things.
Okay, so now I'm dialing in what we talked about earlier with the kids. So that need that you are being starved of, and you have kids that's involved. When is enough enough? When do you walk away? When do you just say everything I'm leaving and walk away? Because at some point you have to get there. Otherwise, you live in a life of misery.
Well,
that in my mind. Let me put this in my mind.
Yes.
See, I haven't been where y'all have been. So I can't say this is not happening because I know things happen in marriages. I'm just like, my greatest fear is divorce. Like, I want to do it, and I pray that I do it, and I do it only one time. But I talk to people that have longevity, and I talk to people that, you know, marriages don't work out. And so in doing that, I ask a
multitude of questions.
Exactly. A variety of questions. Like, how did you get here? Why is what you're doing now okay?
I think with the idea of the fear, you can't fear divorce.
Exactly.
Because please take with a grain of salt and say, it's a fantasy land in the idea of being married to that death do you part in. Statistically, it's a very small group of people who ever have that. It's about as small as the amount of billionaires in the world or millionaires that run around the world. Things do happen. People do change. So it's not something to fear, it's something to experience. Experience that time, that happiness, that going through whatever it was.
It's life.
It's life, yeah. It'll build, it'll build you a little to be stronger, more thinking person.
Find out who you are. You find out who you are as a person.
Right.
Yourself.
But don't run from it because of that. Don't let that fear handcuff you.
Well, I mean, if you ask me, if someone, and I don't care who you are, male or female, I don't care who you are, black, white, Chinese, whoever, if you come to me, and this is me, hey man, how do you feel about like marriage? I hate it. I hate it.
Is that because you have enough of what marriage,
your
experience of marriage is?
What marriage is, because to me now, it's overrated. A marriage is like an individual. When you meet someone,
marriage is an institution.
When you meet someone, yeah, they cool until you learn who they are.
That's with anything, though.
That is with anything, even with a job.
I mean, you get,
That isn't. I mean, you
But
get tired.
the thing about it is,
when you get tired of being yourself, you want to change. You be like, you know what? I'm tired of going to coaching.
When the luster
I
wears off,
want to start going to that game now.
Do you want to keep going with it? You got to kind of think that when the luster wears off that new toy.
There you go.
Where are we at after?
Just like he said, he didn't want to say what I said, but I said it.
Then when the luster wears off, how are we gonna go?
But
forward?
see, that's when before you get married, because like you say, when you first meet somebody, you learning their representative.
Thank
You're
you.
not.
They're putting on their best self.
Exactly. You putting out your best
You can't hold
self.
that
That's just like
back
when
for
you go in the grocery
You
store,
can't.
they gonna put the freshest fruit to the front so you can look at it and see, okay, yeah, they good.
How long are you
But
going to keep this like that?
Yeah.
6
So
months, a
see,
year?
you can't go around and ask the question going off of that. You have to get married.
You gotta dig deeper. Not just get married, but you still have.
No, you gotta get married.
But see,
You
yeah,
gotta
true.
have your
Because
own-
they always
you gotta
say,
have your own-
Get that punishment.
Y'all not convincing me right now.
no. But the thing about it is, I'm gonna tell you right like this. I loved being married.
I think I would love it too.
Exactly.
I loved being
Great
married.
institution.
I loved having someone to come home to and having someone to come home to me. I loved having someone that I could have those conversations with that I knew I couldn't have with anyone else. I loved having someone that I knew was going to have my back when things were going left, when I wanted them to go right. I loved having someone that encouraged me to do things, well, not necessarily in those marriages, but in some religion.
Wow.
And somebody to encourage me to, be like, look, this is something you've always wanted to do. Stop talking about it. Go
Get
out
out
there and
there
get
I got
it.
your back.
Go for it. And
Right.
I got you.
Right.
So the institution of marriage,
It's a beautiful
yes,
thing.
it's a beautiful thing when you got two
The
people.
human beings fuck it up.
Yes, when you have two people who are compatible with
Right,
each other
right,
and
right.
actually love each other,
Exactly.
that'll ride or die for each other,
Mhm.
and gonna be there for you unconditionally, no matter what,
Boom.
man, you got a bond
Boom.
can't nobody break.
Right.
Nobody. And
Does it exist, T-Roy?
yes, it does exist. It may not exist for him, but
But
it
it
does
exists for them.
exist.
It exists.
I'm not going to say it don't exist. It does exist.
Well,
But like she's saying, you both have to want that same thing.
Yeah.
listen, I asked the question, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a vast majority of people that has been married for years. And I'm talking about in my own family. So it's not like I don't know it exists.
Right.
But the way their marriage works and the way our time is now,
It's different.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's
and I
different,
don't think it's because I think the idea of marriage is an idea. Like, I don't think and I'm just me talking, I have never been married, so I think there is work. I've seen highs and lows in these marriages. I didn't understand sometimes, because sometimes I was too young to understand, but when I got older, I understood what was going on. I've been in relationships, so I understand the highs and lows. The only difference is people always want to take that piece of paper and make it just a piece of paper, and it's not. That piece of paper is A1 when it comes to whether you're going to live or die. That person, you got to say, I can trust you with my life. Because that's basically if you get sick.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Attorney, till this day, I have a family member who's, medically, not doing so well. And my mom can't make decisions. You have to call a wife. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when people say, "Oh, well, marriage is just a piece of," it's not a piece of paper. And when you get in it, you have to. For me, in my mind, I keep saying in my mind.
And then the other thing with marriage versus a relationship. In a
You can
marriage,
walk away.
in a relationship, you can pack your shit and walk away.
Yeah.
In a marriage, you can't do it. You ain't gonna do that. And if you're not
As bad as you may want to, you just can't get up and go.
No, not only that, you can't just go and be with somebody else and y'all just get together and get married. Because you have to dissolve that person. If that person don't want to dissolve, depending on where you're going, y'all got to go through all kind of counseling. Y'all have to do different things depending on the state that you live in. So, that's why I ask people, like, how did you know you were at that point? Like, when did you see things start changing to you? Like in a relationship, I knew enough was enough for me when I started looking at other people. Like I could look at, like say you guys were out. I'm in a relationship with you, but I see C's walk in, and I'm looking like, dang, he, you know, somebody get to know. And we start talking. If I can show genuine interest in you, we got
a
mad
big ass problem.
And I'm telling you, women, when we have enough, we start nesting.
Mm-hmm.
Nesting is when we getting our shit in a nice little box.
Mm-hmm.
So when
I nested. Mm-hmm.
so when we go this way, we already know what's going on.
Yep.
And that's in a relationship, I was able to walk away.
Because when you're in love, like when I was married, I had tunnel vision.
Oh yes,
I had tunnel vision.
that's the best.
It's like
Nothing get your attention.
yes, I could be in a room with 100
Miss
men.
America standing right here like nothing I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
They don't mean
and
anything.
they don't mean jack to
Nothing.
me because I'm with who I want to be with. But when you start doing that, and that gap, when we get that gap to get on 16 or 95, when that
Open
gap,
up more and more.
hey,
Get on in
Because you
there.
know they both going off. 16 and 94 going off now.
What are
Just
you talking
16.
about?
No,
I'm like, are we still talking about?
actually 16 go east and west, 95 go north and south, but I'm just
It's
saying.
still going up.
Yeah.
16 is still going up.
Okay.
But
But you're going to go more west on 16.
I don't
95,
get
right,
what it's
95,
about.
you're going to go east. Yeah. I know. I take these highways.
oh, Lord have mercy. But you get the point. You get the point. But when you got that one, and it's like I don't care who come trying to whisper in your ear,
Let me tell you.
anything, dude, back the hell off. I'm good.
Nah, baby, you ain't good.
No,
You
I'm not good over here.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm good over here. This right here,
Yeah, you know
right
you
there,
ain't good.
The first couple of years when I was ain't nothing you can do
Exactly.
to break my attention.
Exactly. But then when you start wavering, cause I'm gonna tell you, the Spinners made a song called "The Same Thing It Took
Yep.
to Get Your Baby." It's gonna take the same thing to keep her. So when you start veering off of that thing, then that's when the trouble gonna start.
And it might be that thing of getting too comfortable in the relationship.
Yes.
You gotta keep yourself a little off balance.
You always gotta
Yeah,
keep
what's
those-
off balance?
You can't always think that you can't get to that comfort zone of going,
Yeah.
I got her.
Yeah, she ain't going nowhere. And see, and see that was the
Still
mistake.
dude's still standing right there.
Yep.
Waiting for you to mess up.
Yep, exactly. Cause that first thing they gonna say, "Oh, she ain't. I got her now. She
Got
ain't
her.
going nowhere." Yeah, okay. Yeah. Where am I at?
Understand? She not doing everything, but they out there challenging it every day.
Yep.
So when enough is enough, do you start doing things different? Like some people, they start dressing different. Like when I was married, my dress never changed.
Oh, they might be
However,
in a relationship.
my
Your attitude will change.
yes. So when I started, going out, or and I really just like, okay, I'm done with this. Then I made myself open.
Yeah. Yep.
So when enough was enough for you, what characteristics did you change in yourself to start, like, do you look elsewhere or do you just say, you know what, I'm not dealing with nothing, nobody, I'm just going to be by myself and sow my royal oats?
That's what I did.
It ain't that. I think what it is. I can only speak for me. And I'm like, my life marriage, man, I just went blank. I wasn't interested in nothing. I wasn't trying to look
You know
for
what
nothing.
this leads into?
I just went blank.
Polyamory relationship.
Well, see, that's when we gonna have to save that for a whole nother show.
The next show, polyamory.
But
I don't share well with others.
Yeah, thank you. You can't have my toys. I'm sorry.
No.
All that you got to share with other kids, no, the hell I don't.
Listen,
Yeah.
house places
Yeah,
that
yeah,
put their pouch
yeah,
there.
we ain't doing
Well, when enough is enough, some people, they
Yeah,
do
well, that's
polyamory
them.
relationship.
They can do that.
Oh,
Y'all
I
go
see.
ahead. More power to you.
But that's
And
a
it's
hot
not
topic right now these days,
Yes,
especially.
yeah. Keep the doctor on speed dial. You never know. I'm just saying. But anyway, but we have completely and totally ran out of time. This was a very, very good topic, y'all. I think we're probably gonna have to come back to this
Part two.
Yeah, sometime
And
in the
move
near
into other
future.
relationships.
Yeah, and move into other dynamics and stuff.
Enough is enough. Down.
We would like
Wow.
to thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you taking out the time to join us for this new episode and for our very new season. And remember, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe.
Hit the notification.
There you go. Ding, ding. That's what you got to do. So we want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Expressed Opinion. I am your girl, Lynn Roberts.
I'm that girl, DC.
And I'm your boy T. Roy.
Big C.
Big C.
And don't forget, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And never be afraid to express yours. Smooches.
I let your boy.